from Anderson Seafoods. Anderson Seafoods has been around for 40 years.
That's right.
They are known, really, like I always say, if you're going to buy meat, know your source. If you're going to buy fish, know your source. Anderson Food in business 40 years, like Rostelli's been in the meat business for 43 years. And Rick Roman is a chef, and he brings us a lot of great stuff. What is it that you're bringing us today where we get 10 of these?
This is wild-caught cod from cold Alaskan waters. And what I love about this is it's right from freezer to oven. It has this beautiful potato crusted coating, which has a little bit of chive and cheddar. And look at how moist and flaky and delicious this cod is. Again, being a wild caught product, I feel like you get that beautiful natural flavor of the fish. And look how tender it is. And notice how the coating, it's not a heavy coating. It's just like almost a light dusting or coating of that chive potato crust with a little bit of cheddar in it. And it's absolutely delicious from freezer to oven. And like you just said, it comes from somebody you can trust in Anderson Seafood. I owned a restaurant. We were really prided ourselves on the best ingredients, and that's what Anderson Seafood's been doing.
Now, so here's what you're going to get.
Yep.
You're going to get all 10 of these, and these are good sized. I mean, look at this on the plate. That is definitely a hefty portion. We only have 1,300 of these to go around. They are also available on auto delivery, so they can come every 90 days for up to a year. And by the way, this 4 easy monthly payments of $21.24 goes away at the end of the day. Now, if somebody's never had cod before, let's talk about what that fish is, because you know that actually about 6 weeks ago, I'd never had cod.
That's right.
And I sold it with you, and I ate the whole thing.
We made a
while I
believer
stood
out of
here.
you. Yeah,
I ordered them after the show.
Thank you so much.
It was
You know
so
what?
good.
It's such a mild, sweet fish, but the nice thing about cod, it's got a little meatiness to it, so it's got a little body in terms of texture. But this is what we do. We get the best wild-caught cod from Alaska, and then we do all the coating and the seasoning, and this is the way it comes to you. It actually comes frozen, just like this, so you can take one out at a time. They're individually packed. What I love about this is it's top-coated, so you notice the bottom, we left that uncoated, so you can put that down on the pan, so it wouldn't come off, and now you have that beautiful coating. And here's the thing, how about if I told you 160 calories for this serving?
Oh my goodness.
So think about
Talk
that.
about smarter eating.
It's January. We want to eat well, but eat smart. This is 160 calories, and guess what? You put this, add it to your favorite vegetable or starch, and you have a delicious entree. If you wanted to make, I mean, you could make a sandwich.
So tasty.
I mean, look at this. Look at the color of this fish. I mean, when you have wild caught, you see it's that bright white, beautiful. Look at the texture. Look at how meaty that is. You know, it doesn't look like something that's been sitting in the freezer and grayed out. And notice again that coating. It's not a heavy coating. It's just enough to give you that flavor and that backdrop for the fish. So every piece like this to me is a perfect portion for dinner, for lunch, you name it.
And by the way, just to remind everybody, these will come individually packaged.
That's right.
So yes, you're going to get 10. They're going to come frozen. You put them in your freezer, but then you can take out 1 or 2 or 4, however many you want. Tell me again about how to cook these.
Okay, so I want you to take them right out of the freezer. Do not defrost these. And the reason I do that is because if you want to get a little bit crustier on the outside, it'll cook from the outside before it overcooks the middle. Cook them in the oven at about 400 degrees for 12 to 14 minutes. And if you want a little crispiness, put the broiler on for about 2 minutes. But keep an eye on them under the broiler so you don't burn them. Or in your air fryer at about 375, 400. And the air fryer is actually great because it gets a little bit crustier on the outside.
I love my air fryer
Great on the
oven.
air
And
fryer.
we've got one in the show today. We had it already earlier. So if you missed it, go back to QVC.com, items recently on air. I also want to update you. So we brought in, you get 10 of these for $84.95. That's a great price for a nice big piece of fish, especially a fish that doesn't smell like fish and doesn't taste like a fishy taste. It's not that way. It's super, super mild.
That's
and
right.
then you cover that with chives and cheddar and this just soft breading. Like, not soft, I meant like a little tiny delicate breading.
Correct.
That's what I meant. It just is a great fish. So how many are left? We have about 1,100 sets to go around. That's it. I look at it too. I say, always have this in your freezer.
100%.
You know, you go through your week and you maybe had steak one night and you had a hamburger another night and you had chicken another night and you think, oh, are we gonna have chicken again? We've had chicken 3 times this week. And you say, you know what? I've got that cod fish in the freezer and I can take that out and I can cook it in like a half an hour or whatever you said it was. How long?
It's actually 14 to 15 minutes in the oven from frozen, and then like I said, if
crazy.
you want it crisp, you throw it back on that top shelf in the broiler. But again, that beautiful, delicate, it's like a flaky, meaty fish, flaky and delicate at the same time. You can see it's perfectly coated. Again, it's not a hard, heavy crust.
No.
It just has, and it has a hint of chive and cheddar. So to me, that marries great with that potato dusting that it has.
I got to tell you, the flavor is incredible. Also, the other thing. Oh yeah, taste it.
I want to bite because it smells so good.
I know it. It smells so good. The other thing though is no bones.
No bones.
No skin on it. If you're kind of new to cooking fish, I mean, fish is really, it does cook up quickly.
It does.
And in this case, it's already breaded. Sometimes you get a piece of fish from the market and you're like, I don't know what to do with this. That's how I felt.
Well,
I just didn't know.
That's what's great. Excuse me. You don't need to think, oh, well, how am I going to season this? What am I going to marinate it? No. Right from the freezer into the oven or the air fryer. And again, excuse me, you could do it over your favorite pasta. Pardon me.
It's okay.
Wrong pipe there.
With your great
vegetables and
veggies.
starch. You could even, if you wanted to, break this up and put it into little taco shells and make a fish
that's
taco.
right, fish tacos. I've got to tell you though, this stuff is great. And this is from Anderson Seafoods. And the other thing is, again, you're getting 10 for $84.95, now fewer than 900 of these to go around. And just to remind you, how big is one of these pieces? It is a full-size 5.5-ounce piece that you can see. I'm gonna put my hand over one. It's really, truly the size of my hand right there in those pieces. That just gives you kind of a little comparison. But I also want to go back to the quality.
Yes.
Because a lot of times you don't know where the fish comes from. You just buy it in your grocery store. You don't have a clue. They don't know either. So, you know, a lot of times they don't. So this one is wild caught.
Wild caught.
Again, why is that important?
That's important because the fish feeds in the wild. And I'm picking this up because I just want you to see how delicate and gorgeous this fish is and how it just literally breaks apart. And you can see the beautiful flesh. And you know what's great? Hold on a second. Let me grab this other piece here. Look at how moist. This fish is so moist inside because that coating, and it just breaks apart. And the coating is not heavy. Notice how it's mostly fish. And a lot of times when you have a seasoned product like that, you get a lot of coating and not a lot of fish. But back to the wild caught story, when the fish is feeding in the wild, the flavors are pure and natural. They're clean. And you just said it doesn't taste fishy, and that's because it's not being fed things you don't want it to eat. And guess what? 160 calories.
I was just going to
for
say,
a wild
any
caught,
idea how many calories?
160 calories.
For this big piece that,
for a
believe me,
full
will
entree.
fill you up. I love this. I'm so glad we had this in the show for you. Go ahead and give us a call. If you want just a single shipment, that's fine, or you can do auto delivery every 90 days for up to a year. The easy pay goes away at the end of the day. Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Great
much.
to have you
Happy New Year,
here.
everyone.
Okay, by the way,